Hi everyone, it's Hedy, and what I'm going to be making for you today is salami bread. It's pretty simple, as a matter of fact, and I hope you're going to like it. It's a recipe of the pizza dough, which I have a video of, but I will review with you, and then just stuffing it with whatever you want. It's like, what do they call them at the delis? What's the name?
Stromboli.
Stromboli. This is a huge stromboli. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the dough again. Just a quick review. There's 4 cups of flour in here, bread flour. I like to use bread flour. A teaspoon of salt. And what I have here is 1.5 cups of warm water. The temperature is 110 with 1 packet of quick rise yeast and a teaspoon of sugar. The sugar helps the yeast to proof better. Okay, so, and I have 1/4 cup of oil. So what I'm gonna do is, what I'm gonna do is
About what?
start the recipe, add the yeast mixture, and the oil, and let that run for a few minutes. Now, if you don't have a processor, you can do this by hand. Just make a well. You put the flour, make a well of the flour. You mix it with the salt first, and then you put in the water and oil and salt, and the sugar's already in the yeast. So you just mix it together, and you have to knead it by hand. But you got to knead it for about 10 minutes. But with the processor or even a mixer like a Cuisinart or a KitchenAid mixer, it does the trick really well. So this here, I'm letting it go for a couple of minutes, and then what I'm going to do is take it out, put it in a grease bowl, cover it with plastic wrap, and put it in a place to rise for about an hour and a half. It should double in bulk.
Same exact as the pizza dough.
Same exact as the pizza. And then I'm going to show you what I stuff the strombolis with, or we call it salami bread. But I'm going to do a salami one with salami and cheese, and then I'm going to do a vegetarian one for all you vegetarians out there of peppers and onions with some mozzarella sliced in there. And I'll show you how I do that when I come back. Okay, so I'm going to make some peppers and onions because I'm going to make the vegetarian stromboli with peppers and onions and mozzarella. Now what I'm going to do is just going to cook this. I got some oil heating up. I'm going to cook this and then wait for it to get tender. Okay, so the oil is heating. I have 2 peppers here and a whole onion. A pretty, a nice size onion.
What kind of oil did you use?
I use canola oil. You could use olive oil if you want. Okay, so like some salt, about a teaspoon so, and some granulated garlic. You could use fresh garlic if you like, but I'm using granulated this time. And I'm just going to saute these until it gets tender. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so the peppers and onions have been cooking for about 10 minutes, and these are pretty much done. I don't put a cover on it because the cover will make moisture, and we don't want moisture because it'll make the bread inside soggy. So I didn't put a cover on. You see there's no moisture here. There's just a little bit of oil and a little bit of seasoning that I showed you. So this will be ready for the stromboli calzone. It's a calzone to me. It's not a stromboli.
You turn that often too.
Yes, I
You
turn.
didn't leave them alone. You got to be on them.
No,
and
you
turn
got
them.
to watch it so they don't burn. So I just kept turning them. And this is pretty good. That's the way they should look. And then I don't think I'm gonna use them oil. I'm not gonna use them oil. I'm gonna use them all. I'm gonna use probably like half of them because I'm gonna put some mozzarella in there too. Okay, now I'll come back when I'm ready to roll out and do the rest of the stuff. And by the way, this was left over. I made this during the week. It's spinach with ricotta, mozzarella, and grated cheese. I'm gonna take a little bit of the dough and I'm gonna stuff it with that too, and put some mozzarella on top. That'll be really delicious. You could stuff this with anything that you want. Sausage and peppers, broccoli rabe, red sausage, plain broccoli rabe with mozzarella. Use your imagination. So the dough has risen to double in bulk, and it's silky beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. Put a little flour on it. I'm gonna divide this in half. These are for the 2 salami breads. What I'm gonna do is roll this out, and I'm gonna use my new OXO rolling pin that my daughter got me. My son-in-law works for OXO now, so maybe they'll want me to endorse their products, but the dough is not supposed to stick to it. We'll see.
We'll see.
You could do this by hand if you want. You don't have to roll it out with a rolling pin, but it's easier. This is not pizza. We don't want, I have the oven heating up to about 400 right now. I mean, you could make these a day in advance and then wrap them in foil and put them in the refrigerator and then take them out when you want them. But you're gonna have to put the oven heat up to about 400 and leave them in the oven for a good 45 minutes, or maybe 350 for 45 minutes because they're already cooked. I'm trying to get this a little bit squarer. Okay, because it's more of a square because I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it like a cake roll, you know? Well, you've seen them in the store. I can't get it square, but that's all right. I'll cut off the ends. Okay, so what I do now is I put the salami and the cheese on this here, roll it up, and put it in the oven. I'll come back when I have everything prepared. All right, so I have a Genoa salami. You could use whatever kind of salami you want. You don't have to use salami. You could use ham, but we call it salami bread. They like salami. What I'm gonna do is put a layer of salami here. I got like 3/4 of a pound here and 3/4 of a pound for the other one. And then we're gonna load it up with the cheese too, American cheese. You could use whatever kind of cheese. You could use provolone, you can use Swiss cheese. There's no rule here of what you have to use. You can use your, do whatever you like.
My son Arthur likes the American cheese.
Oh yes, Arthur likes the American. Some of us like the provolone, but Arthur likes yellow American, Arthur.
So do I, but I like them both.
I know you do. You're more flexible than Arthur. Arthur's more rigid in his tastes. He doesn't like big chunks of onions. He doesn't like, hardly eats any vegetables, but he's the one that eats the fruit. And Paul eats the vegetables. I don't know. They're both Geminis. They're different. Boy, are they different.
We're more alike than different.
You're more alike than different? Okay. Here you go.
Looks like a salami pizza.
Actually, that's what it is. It's a salami and cheese calzone, and they call them Stromboli. I don't know what Stromboli is, but to us it would have been just a calzone. So I'm gonna put all the cheese down here, and then I'm gonna roll it. I'll show you what you want to watch when it's rolling. I can make you watch while it's rolling, but it's time consuming. I'll come back. Okay, so I have all the cheese on, and we were just discussing how I started to make salami breads. I don't really know, but my son says that we ordered it one day in a local deli, and the filling was like so skimpy that I said, I can make this better. So I decided I was gonna make it, and I was gonna make it better. And I did. So we try to get these ends in. And we don't want everything falling out, but ultimately, some always comes out. I don't know how to keep it in. I could pinch it, do whatever I gotta do. It always falls out.
But actually, it's good because it gets to that crispy.
Yeah, then it's crispy on there and
On the pan, and you scoop
on
it
the
out.
pan.
It's like a cheesy, crispy salami chip.
Actually, yes, it's like, there we go. Try to get the ends in. You don't have to be perfect. These are Silpat pans, so it doesn't stick to the pan. My daughter's getting me new ones for Christmas, along with the pizza stones. You know, you get old, you have a little lapse of memory here and there. But I'm going to put these in together at the same time. And then I'll mix. I'm going to do this one, and then I'll mix, do the ones for the stuffed peppers and onions and the spinach. It's like a spinach souffle I made, whatever you want to call it.
Which you can make a short video on if there's requests.
Well, it's not hard to make.
It's a nice side dish, a short 5-minute
Yeah,
video.
we used it as a side dish the other night when I made chicken. So, it's good.
It's a good way to get kids to eat spinach.
It's to get the spinach, yes, to get the spinach in. It's a good way to get my Arthur to eat some spinach because he's not a vegetable eater. Paul will eat, I know. He's yelling at me because I'm ragging on him. He's not a vegetable eater. What are you going to do? I don't know why. My daughter eats everything. She's just like me. She eats every kind of vegetable, every kind of meat, except for lamb. They don't like lamb. But anyway, that's another story. And my mother used to make lamb. She used to make it in a Genoese sauce. She used to make the whole lamb, the leg of lamb. She used to dress it, whatever, and then cook some pasta on the side, usually linguine. My mother loved linguine. And we put the sauce from the lamb Genoese on top of the linguine. It was absolutely delicious. Okay. Now this one is a little bit more square. I'm trying. So I used to make pizzas. Here we go. I'm gonna fill this one up and I'll come back. Okay, so I got about half of the peppers and onions here from the pan. You could see they're not, they don't have a lot of liquid, which is what I want. So what I'm gonna do is here, put it here. This is a little different. You don't really put it all over like you do with the salami bread. This here is just like calzone, well, kind of like a calzone, I guess. You can call it that. But that's enough. We don't want to overstuff it. And then I'm going to put some mozzarella. You could kind of call it like a caprese stromboli, if you want. Now I'm going to roll this. This is going to be a little hard to get on the pan, but that's not too bad. I don't have another Silpat, so I sprayed the pan with the cooking spray. Now I'm going to roll out another one, and this one is going to be with the spinach and the rest of the stuff. I'll come back when it's ready to full. I'm having a hard time with my words today. Right, Luke? Okay, here. So this is the spinach, the got the mozzarella. It's a little cold. It was in the fridge. But if you make it fresh, it'll spread a little bit better, a little easier, I should say. I am having problems with my words today. Okay. This is going to be like a kind of calzone. I'm just going to cover it, like, instead of rolling it. Rolling it is going to be a little difficult, I think. So what I'm going to do here is Okay. I'm gonna put some grated cheese on it.
Of course.
And some fresh mozzarella. Everything goes better with garlic and mozzarella. When in doubt, use mozzarella and garlic. Right, Luke? I don't know. Okay, that should be enough. We're gonna just cover this baby, this little sucker. Get in there. You can turn it in. Turn it in. Now to pick it up and get it.
It's a horseshoe shaped calzone.
It is a horseshoe shape. Hey, there's no rules. You can make it whatever you want.
No rules.
No rules. All right, so it won't come out. Okay, now let's try to get this on the pan. Not too difficult. Here we go. Now I'm going to put this in the oven, and you just cook it until it's golden brown. No secret. This one here is the peppers, onions, and mozzarella.
How long approximately would that be?
Probably about a half hour or so. You just check it, see if it's browning, and then once it's brown, you take it out. I'll come back when they're done. Okay, so these are the finished products. This is the spinach one. That's shaped like a horseshoe? Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon. And this is the peppers and onions and mozzarella. Not too much, not too bad on the leakage, but take pictures. All right, so I took the salami bread out, and this came out. Like I said, some drips out. And I'm going to put it in a paper dish. There you go. But there's plenty still inside, and we're going to cut it to show you. It's hot. You should wait a little bit before you cut it, because if it's too hot, everything is going to fall apart. So I'll come back when it's cooled off a little bit. Okay, so this has been settling for about 15 minutes. I want to show you what peppers, onions, and mozzarella one looks like. Ah, that's delicious. And probably the middle is even better. Oh, and this one is the spinach, my horseshoe spinach. Ah, wow, there you go, delicious. We'll be back later when this here is cooled off a little bit, because it's really hot and it'll fall apart. Okay, so it's been resting for about 10-15 minutes, and I'm going to cut into it and show you. Wow, look at that. That's not like the Stingy Deli had. The Stingy Deli had like 2 slices of salami and maybe I don't know what of ham. But this, take a look at that. That's perfect. Until next time, keep watching, keep cooking, and bon appetit.
This is for bloopers. This is the shit nobody sees.
Yeah,
The aggravating part.
cleaning all the messes, right?
Cleaning the dough out of the blade and the machine is such a pain in the ass.
Oh, don't say pain in the ass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Some people complain. I'm cursing. I said hell. Some lady complained.
Let her fall by the wayside.
What?
I have a little more mozzarella.
Yes. Cut a piece of mozzarella for her.
Okay.